Monday afternoon baseball in Knoxville, Tennessee, or softball that is. The rains have cleared, making ways for perfect weather to continue the Tennessee Classic. Day 4 of the Tennessee Classic, as we'll see Game 2 on the weekend between the Virginia Cavaliers and the Tennessee Lady Volunteers. Alongside former All-American Madison Shipman, I'm Andy Brock, here to bring you all the action of the last game for the Volunteers. We're at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium in Madison. One game in the books between these two opponents. The 11-1 win yesterday for the Lady Vols. What stood out to you from that first matchup coming into the day?
Well, I think we saw the Tennessee offense be really patient up at the plate. They did a good job of not chasing after those Virginia pitchers' bad pitches, and that's one of the things that Virginia coming into this game really needs to work on. Their pitchers have to hit that strike zone. They've got to try to make these hitters put that ball in play, make your defense work, and try to get some quick outs.
Volunteers came away with the win on Sunday, 11-1 through 5 innings, got the run rule, 8 hits came across, and the win was handed to Maddy Moss. But today on the mound for the Lady Vols is Kaylin Arnold. Went 6 innings last night in a win, and now she's back out there.
Kaylin Arnold came out really strong last night. She had really good velocity on her pitches, working the ball inside and outside, utilizing that rise ball, and she's got that devastating changeup in her arsenal as well. So I would not be surprised if we see quite a few of those today.
SEC Freshman of the Year in 2017, now a perennial SEC threat out in the circle, and she will get the nod again versus Virginia, Day 2 versus the Cavaliers, as the Volunteers looking to get a sweep on the weekend. First in for the Cavaliers will be Hailey Busby, the third baseman, getting the start once again. The big hitters on the weekend for him. The first pitch is swinging. So Kaylin Arnold, the junior, kind of had a slower start to the season, more than she'd probably like, but here she is having a little bit better of a weekend, and there's Shipman going out to talk to her early.
And I've got to think that that's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing Kaylin Arnold out here again in this game. She did throw last night's game, coming out again, trying to get her to get more confidence in these early innings of these games and get her going. And it looks like either Allie Shipman behind the plate or Kaylin Arnold, one of them had the wrong pitching signals, which you never want that to happen, to have your catcher on one page and your pitcher on another. So we're seeing lots of smiles out there. It looks like everybody's back on the same page and ready to go.
Good to go, ready to start this one on a Monday. Got the right pitches on their armband now, and Arnold will fire a second pitch in. Just miss it. Now we'll take a look at the batting order for the Cavaliers. 5-7 on the season, and it's headed, lead it off by Hailey Busby. We'll see Barbour and Smith this inning. At the 4 spot, freshman Donna Friedman, Olivia Gott following. Freshman Ritchie, Oshro, Davis, and Winscott to close down the lineup. There's a good cut and foul from Busby, but Madison, who stands out in this Cavalier lineup at the plate?
Well, I think we're seeing her up at the plate right now. Hailey Busby has just absolutely come on strong in her sophomore year. She came out of her freshman year last year and was disappointed with her performance. She wanted to make sure that she came out here and did something completely different, really changed this Cavaliers lineup, and that's what she's doing in the leadoff spot.
Strike 3 swinging that time from Busby, however, as Arnold starts the afternoon with a strikeout. Sits him down for out number 1, and that was a good pitch, kind of out of the zone.
Yes, there's that rise ball that you're seeing right there, and Kaylin Arnold did a good job of getting ahead of Hailey Busby, so it gave her that opportunity to throw that rise ball out of the zone to get the swing.
1 down now. That leads way for Abigail Barbour, the freshman out of Providence Forge, Virginia. First pitch goes for strike 1 looking. It's Barbour getting her 7th start of the season. Barbour, one of those freshmen who have gotten significant playing time early for the Cavaliers. That one will bounce towards Shipman for ball 1. Barbour only a freshman, but pretty good on-base percentage for her team at .400. That's second. She reached base on a walk against the Vols on Sunday. Good cut and a miss as Arnold blows that one by for a 1-2 count.
And Barbour has a really good on-base percentage, but she's also shown off the power, and she hit a home run versus Kansas all the way into those right field stands a couple of days ago.
Looking to lead off the Cavaliers with 1 down. That one goes up high. But as you could say, it could be A little bit of struggles for Virginia trying to reach base, especially early as they got down in a pretty big 8-0 hole on Sunday's game versus the Vols. Got to see them maybe trying to swing the bats a little more aggressively this game. It's a swing hit over to second base. It's Leach there. Throw over, out number 2 as Abigail Barbour is retired on the grounder.
And to your point, I wouldn't be surprised also if we see this Virginia lineup try to do a little bit of short game, change it up. You know that you're facing some of the best pitchers in the country. Try to drop a bunt, get on base any way you can.
Now you're seeing a look at the infield for the Volunteers, who have been just about perfect. Only one error on the season that came from Moss yesterday, but as you will see at third, Segern. Over at short, the freshman Osborne. Aubrey Leach, the veteran, over at second. And then you got Morgan at first, as always. And there's the outfield. You see Ayala, Holcomb, and Phillips. Pretty strong defensive lineup for the Vols. Only that one error. Strike there from Arnold. This is a defense that, with the one error, though, Coach Karen Weekly did say that there were plays that they probably needed to make that didn't necessarily count as an error. So just maybe trying to fine-tune that defense. There's a big swing headed out to left field. Retreating is Ayala. That is over the fence, a home run. Lacey Smith and the Cavaliers jump out in front here at the top of the first on a solo shot off Arnold.
Well, we were just talking about what Virginia can do to try to get some momentum going for her team, and I was talking about the small ball, but Lacey Smith said, you know what, I'm going to drive this one straight over the left field wall. That is her second home run on the day. She hit a home run versus Bradley earlier in the first inning as well. So the first inning for her seems to be the hot ticket.
Lacey Smith swinging a hot bat for Virginia when many others on her team can't. She hits her second home run on the day, like you mentioned, the 2-run home run this morning at 9 a.m. start versus Bradley. The Cavaliers were able to come away with their first win on the weekend. And now out on front against the Volunteers early.
And just like we were talking about, Kaylin Arnold has been struggling in the early innings of some of the games that she's pitched. So this at-bat right here is very, very crucial. You want to try to come back after that home run, get ahead of these batters, stay ahead, and get the very next out after that home run over the left field wall.
Those first inning home runs have been an issue for the Volunteers. You saw Florida State, Arnold give up a very early first inning solo shot. 1-1 from Arnold, swing and a miss from Donna Friedman. Friedman, the freshman from Orange, California, gets her 12th start on the season. Tied for second on the team with 6 RBIs already, and a great contribution. The 1-2 from Arnold, just off the tip of the bat, hit the batter in the on-deck circle. That's got deflected right off of her bat, maybe.
Luckily, she's got those catcher shin guards down there to block her a little bit. The on-deck circles, you got to make sure that you're paying attention because those foul balls can come at you in a hurry.
The 1-2 pitch from Arnold. That one goes outside, ball 2. 2 outs in the inning. The Cavaliers have already struck for 1. Arnold looking to get out of the inning with no more damage. Friedman batting .297 on the season. Started every game. He'll swing a foul over to the left side this time. Pretty good battle so far from Friedman.
And she's battling back into these good hitter counts. She got ahead 1-0. Kaylin Arnold came back with a strike and keeps on working to try to get Kaylin Arnold to bring those balls back over the wide of the plate.
The 2-2 pitch, that one rolls in the dirt. Shipman blocks it.
And now Friedman's an even better hitter count because Kaylin Arnold with that changeup. I like the idea, but you got to make sure that that pitch is one of those pitches that you might get these hitters to swing at. But if it's rolling on the ground, they're not going to bite at those.
Olivia got on deck now. The 3-2 pitch with 2 down. Arnold, another swing and a foul. Really driving up that pitch count on Arnold already. Already 17 pitches thrown there. Now on the top of the first.
And Virginia is being very aggressive in these at-bats as well. It looks like they're not going for base hits. They're trying to hit every single ball over the wall.
Coming at Arnold early. Another 3-2 pitch. from Arnold, fires it in, a swing, that one's in play. Leach ranging over, makes the play, throws on. Morgan inning over, but the Cavaliers are able to strike for one on the solo shot by Lacey Smith. Virginia leads 1-0 after the top of the first. Watching the SEC Network here at the Tennessee Classic. Bottom of the first at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. The Volunteers will take to the plate for the first time. They trail 1-0 to the Cavaliers here early. And out on the mound for Virginia for the second time today is Allyson Fry, redshirt senior graduate transfer out of Boston College.
And with Fry on the mound, you're going to see her throw the ball in the mid-60s, but she's going to work the ball on both sides of the plate to both righties and lefties, working that curveball and that screwball.
First pitch in for Leach. She takes it for ball one. We'll take a look at the Tennessee lineup as Leach back in the leadoff spot. As always, Ayala in second. Segern at the 3 spot. Ashley Morgan at the cleanup role. Allie Shipman's getting the start at catcher again. Phillips at the 6th spot. Haley Bearden batting 7th. Osborne and then Holcomb rounding out the batting order for the Vols. Pretty standard lineup. And always led off by Aubrey Leach as statistical leader all over batting average, runs, doing it all so far. Once again, another good start to the season for Aubrey Leach. There's a swing. That one heads into right field. Dropping in for a single as Aubrey Leach is aboard. First batter of the day for the Volunteers, and Leach is on.
We have seen Aubrey Leach swing away more than she usually does, but when she's doing it like that, it doesn't matter if she's slapping, bunting, or hitting the ball right into right field. She's setting the tone for the rest of this Lady Vol lineup.
1 for 2 yesterday for her against Virginia. Came across for 2 runs, and here she is aboard already. No outs in the inning in the leadoff spot to bring up Amanda Ayala. So Fry already 1 hit aboard, and Leach maybe a threat to steal a bag. We'll see if the Volunteers will send her over.
I would say if it doesn't come on this pitch, it's probably going to come on the next one because you've got a lot of speed at first base, and Amanda Ayala has quite a few wheels at home plate as well.
Pitch, another ball. It's a 2-0 start to Amanda Ayala from Allyson Fry. Ayala batting .433 on the season so far and has found a good amount of pop in the bat. Already 14 RBIs for her. 2-0 pitch from Fry. Runner on Ayala. There goes Leach over to second. The throw down, and she is safe. Beats out the throw by catcher Shipman, by catcher Olivia Gott.
A very good throw by Olivia Gott, and you notice that the Virginia defense switched so that second base was actually the one covering the steal. Typically the shortstop does, but Ashley Davis gets over there in very good time. Good throw by Olivia Gott, just not in time to get the speedy Aubrey Leach.
Leach now in scoring position with no outs. Amanda Ayala, the 3-0 pitch, and she'll take it for ball 4. So already 2 aboard for the Lady Vols as Frey, 2 batters face, 2 on.
Up next for Tennessee.
Frey was one of the pitchers that Tennessee did not see in their game yesterday, but Virginia's Achilles heel yesterday was the fact that they kept giving up free passes. They kept on walking these Tennessee batters and giving them more and more opportunities to score, and here we are already in the bottom of the first seeing another walk.
5 balls in a row now for Allyson Fry. That was one of the things we talked about Virginia needs to throw strikes to kind of contain this very powerful Tennessee offense. So far, already 2-on in the inning. Another ball from Allyson Fry to Chelsea Sagern, third baseman. And now catcher God will head on over to have a discussion.
And so far on the year, Allyson Fry, she's got 33 strikeouts, but she also has 17 walks. So again, got to make sure that she's bringing that ball over into the strike zone, because these Tennessee batters see those stats as well, and they know that finding consistency in the strike zone is something that the Virginia pitchers have struggled with so far.
The 2-0 to Sagern. Another ball from Fry. That's 7 in a row for her. In a hole early here in the first. A chance now with a ball 4 to load the bases. Sagern might watch this one go by. The 3-0. Ball 4. Bases now loaded for the Lady Vols as they are 90 feet away from tying this game up and 1 hit away from probably taking the lead. We'll see an infield meeting. As head coach Joe Harden will head on out.
And now they've got the bases loaded, and they are facing the absolute hottest hitter so far in this Tennessee Classic for the Lady Vols, and that is Ashley Morgan, hitting .750 so far this tournament with 7 RBIs. And now she's got another opportunity to knock a couple across the board for Tennessee here in the bottom of the first to put them back on top.
2 for 2 on Sunday with 2 RBIs against Virginia. Then had a big 3-run home run that night against Bradley. So Ashley Morgan, just like you said, swinging probably the hottest bat on this team. And she's one of the players they want in this position. That's why she's in the 4 spot. She'll stand in with a big opportunity early.
Up next for UT,
only 0, no outs at all. So Allyson Fry already in a tough position. She's thrown 8 straight balls. Morgan will stand in to face Fry for the first time. First pitch in. And that one goes in for strike 1. So after throwing 8 straight balls, Fry just has to maybe try to settle in here. You know, it's a daunting situation, but got to try to block that one out, assuming.
That one just missing outside. And Allyson Fry is one of the veteran players on this team. She is a graduate transfer, but she brings a lot of experience in the circle. So I would bet that this isn't the first time she's been in a bases-loaded situation. So we'll see what she's throwing here to try to get Ashley Morgan maybe to hit a ground ball and get herself out.
The 1-1 pitch. That one just misses again. Fry, plenty of that experience, came from Boston College. A 2.53 ERA and 152 innings pitched a year ago. Immediately eligible to play. Actually had a shutout versus Florida State last year, so brings loads of experience to this pitching staff. There's the 2-1 to Morgan. That one will fly into the gap, drop again. Around comes Leach for 1. In comes Ayala, steps on the plate for 2, and it will be a 2 RBI double for Ashley Morgan as the RBIs continue to pour in for the first baseman, and the Volunteers have taken the lead.
A very mature at-bat by Ashley Morgan. She saw that Allyson Fry was trying to throw her those pitches on the outside half of the plate, and she was missing. Tries to do something different, comes inside to Ashley Morgan, and she gets enough barrel on it to drive it into right field for 2 RBIs.
The RBI count skyrocketing up to 9 on the weekend. She has Virginia's numbers. That's 4 RBIs just against the Cavaliers alone. Stepping in now, still 2 in scoring position. 0 outs on the inning is Allie Shipman. And Shipman's had a pretty good start to her freshman career. Already 12 RBIs for her, and she has a chance to pour some more on. The 1-0 Shipman. That one, another one outside.
And again, with those pitches, they're just missing by too much. If you stay around the plate, you're more likely to get hitters to swing at pitches just out of the zone. But when you're throwing balls in the dirt or way outside of the zone, you're not going to get these hitters to swing.
2 to Shipman. That's ball 3. Another good eye from Allie Shipman as Lady Vols have been pretty disciplined at the plate. It's Fry just trying to get some strikes. She'll start out Shipman with a 3-0. And that one will fall in for strike one. Shipman might have thought that one was a ball. She'll stand back in there ready to go this time. Ready to swing on the 3-1. Have Segern on third, Morgan on second. Volunteers already 2 runs in the inning, no one down. Fry on the 3-1, a swing from Allie Shipman into right. Play will be made by Oshiro, and Segern will hold up at third, as that will be out number 1.
And Allie Shipman got herself into a very good hitter's count. There was that tough call in the 3-0 to end up getting it to 3-1. But you know that Allyson Fry is struggling to throw strikes. And as an offense, I would say I would probably make her throw me 2 strikes in a row before I even pick the bat off of my shoulder, just because I know how this inning has gone thus far.
So Fry able to retire her first out of the inning. Still danger with 2 runners in scoring position for Kayleigh Phillips, as Phillips had the big fly against Virginia yesterday, going deep to center field.
The wind was blowing, but I don't think she needed any wind on that one.
No.
She got all of that ball.
Deep into the parking lot, over towards the visitor bus section. That's got to be a lot of confidence for Kayleigh Phillips, a freshman, coming in and swinging a pretty good bat. A lot of power for her in just a few at-bats. So it looks like just 14 ABs, but already 8 RBIs for her. She's been in these positions a lot.
And 2 home runs, too.
The 2-0 from Fry goes in for strike 1. That one a fastball right down the middle. Fry got the win this morning, went 4 innings pitched. Only give up 3 hits, 0 earned runs, and 3 strikeouts. Here for her second game on the day. Is already in a hole early in the first. Her team gave her the early lead. Volunteers are able to strike back pretty quick. A chance for more damage, only 1 down. Phillips at the plate with Hailey Bearden on deck. The 3-1. That one goes in for strike 2 as Phillips watched that one go by.
And Fry definitely seems to be having more success on that inside part of the plate. Her outside pitches are missing just too far off of the plate, but seems to be being able to get strikes on the inside half.
The 3-2 goes for ball 4, so Kayleigh Phillips loads the bases once again as she watches the 3-2 go by. And Tennessee, another bases loaded opportunity, and Hailey Bearden will step in.
And Fry did indeed go back to that inside corner, and it just missed off of the plate. Not by much, a very competitive 3-2 pitch, but it is called a ball, and Kayleigh Phillips takes first.
So Fry already 3 walks on the day already. Something Virginia struggled with yesterday. And the bases are loaded once again. But Hailey Bearden steps in. Bearden batting .318 on the season. 2 home runs on the year. That one is poked out over the shortstop's head. Bearden is aboard. 1 run will come across, and that's it. As Segern touches home plate. It is 3-1 Lady Vols as Bearden just puts that one over the head of Ritchie out there at short.
I think that swing shows you just how strong Hailey Bearden is. It was a check swing, but she's able to get enough of it to lift it right over Arizona Ritchie's head for a base hit and another run.
Hailey Bearden had a big home run on Friday, almost had a big one versus Florida State until a big play was made. But now Bearden an RBI, bottom of the first, and the Volunteers lead 3-1. Base is still loaded with 1 down. In the inning, Gracie Osborne steps in, the freshman, getting the start at shortstop, her 4th start of the weekend. It's the first action she's seen so far for the Volunteers. 1-0 pitch goes outside, ball 2.
And Osborne's one of the freshmen on this Tennessee team that is recovering from an injury that she had last summer playing travel ball, broke her tib and fib. And that is just not something that any player wants to have happen to them, but she is recovering, and that's why we're seeing her start to get more and more innings as these games go on.
First at-bat on Friday versus Kansas, put it into right field, went oppo for a 2 RBI single. So definitely a good start to her Tennessee campaign, but yeah, recovering from a type of injury like that, you got to ease yourself back into it. I think she's gotten a couple of good reps this weekend. The 1-2 for Osborne, puts a swing on it down the line, just foul, but pretty good contact from Osborne. So Osborne went 0 for 2 yesterday versus Virginia. Now here in a big bases loaded spot. Just her 8th at-bat of the season. Has 2 RBIs. The 1-2. And she'll watch that one go by for a 2-2 count.
And what's interesting, too, in this at-bat versus Gracie Osborne, the infield is now playing back. It looks like they're just playing to get outs, where with Hailey Bearden's at-bat, the infield was playing up. So I've got to believe if they were back in in this position, Hailey Bearden might not have gotten a hit.
That ball was just out of reach from Richie. Might have even skimmed her glove, and just because they were playing up in that scenario, it would have been a routine play with no one on.
And typically with bases loaded situations, you do want your infield in to try to cut off the run at home. But now because they're down by 2 runs, I think they're just doing whatever they can to get outs.
The 3-2 goes for a backwards K on Osborne. And the strikeout for Allyson Fry, her first, and that gets a big second out.
A good battle there by Allyson Fry. Gracie Osborne was doing a nice job of fouling off those outside pitches to the right side, but Allyson Fry coming back in and getting the best of her for the strikeout looking.
So Osborne might have thought that one was going to go for ball 4. She started her trot down to first, and then there goes the backwards K as Fry records out number 2, and Jenna Holcomb will step in the 9 spot. But don't be deceived, Holcomb is a big batter. And a huge advantage to have this far back in the lineup with bases loaded. Holcomb, the junior, take that one for ball 1.
And Holcomb in that 9 spot is basically like having a second leadoff batter. Her job is to try to turn that lineup over to Aubrey Leach. And Jenna Holcomb, with over a 400 batting average last year, she has a ton of wheels and she has great hand-eye coordination, being able to read defenses and put the ball wherever she wants to.
Pitch in goes outside once again for Holcomb as Fry starts her out with a 2-1. 2 down. Force play at any bag. So Fry looking to salvage the inning. Not let too much damage come across, but Holcomb in a dangerous spot and an RBI chance with bases loaded. The 2-1 from Fry. Holcomb puts a swing on it. Infield pop-up. Play made at third from Busby. Inning over as Fry able to leave 3 stranded on the Holcomb pop-up, but the Volunteers retake the lead. They are up 3-1 at the end of 1. This is the Tennessee Classic on the SEC Network. One inning down here in Knoxville at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium for the Tennessee Classic as the Lady Vols up on the Cavaliers of Virginia 3-1. As Cavaliers will see the 5, 6, 7 come to the plate and got Ritchie and Oshro. As the Cavaliers have had a pretty up and down season thus far. A little bit of a shaky start at the FAU First Pitch Classic, and then a good 4-0 series at the Elon Softball Classic, and now a little bit of a middle of the pack scenario here in Knoxville. There's a big swing from Gott, and that one will go foul, however.
And, you know, going back to what Virginia has done so far, when we talked to Coach Harden earlier in the week, we asked her about how they went from 0-5 the first weekend to 4-0 the next weekend. And she said, you know, at the beginning of the spring, you're playing against yourself, whether it be in practice, scrimmages. So that first weekend out is really the first true measuring point that you have for their team. And she definitely thought that they had some nerves in the first weekend. But one of the things that they really needed to work on was how to respond when they got down early in a game. So I'm curious to see what their lineup can do now that Tennessee has taken the lead.
Swing and a foul that time from Gott. As you mentioned, those nerves were there early in that 0-5 start. But Coach Harden did mention that being down early in those situations have kind of helped them, just like you said, and now down 2 early to Tennessee. But they are in a better situation than they were at this point yesterday, so maybe already learning a bit. There's a foul tip into the glove of Shipman. And that goes out number 1 as Gott is sat down. A good play behind the plate and a good pitch from Arnold.
A nice pitch by Arnold, like you said, a curveball on the outside half of the plate. And Olivia Gott is one of these batters in this Virginia lineup that is all the way up in the front of the box, and that curveball got the best of her. And here you can see Arizona Ritchie doing the complete opposite all the way in the back of the box.
First pitch into Ritchie and another foul ball. Arizona Ritchie, freshman, getting her 12th start of the year. She'll face Arnold. She went 0-2 on Sunday. She is one of the freshmen who are getting significant playing time in this Cavalier lineup early as a pretty good mix of upperclassmen and newcomers. It's 9 freshman players on this Virginia squad have already made debuts. 3 of them pretty significant starters, and Coach Harden said this is a group that wants to kind of change the trajectory of this program.
And I definitely think that's something that Coach Harden and the rest of the team can do. They have 18 underclassmen on their team. So 18 out of 26 of them are freshmen or sophomores, and 11 of those underclassmen are indeed freshmen. So they're still trying to learn the ropes. They're trying to figure out how to win ball games, but that's what Coach Harden is trying to do, to change this mentality of their program.
Head coach Joe Harden in her 3rd season at Virginia. 38-78 overall record. Went 12-41 last year in the ACC, but every year is just an inch closer to getting better, and here they've got some good pieces. Ritchie standing in on the 2-2, another foul. Virginia really swinging the bats here early. A couple of pretty good approaches, a couple of good swings, and a couple of foul-offs here to start the second. Arnold only giving up 1 hit so far. It was a solo shot. 1 out of the inning on the 2-2 pitch, and another foul. And Arnold got the start last night, and so here in today, pitch count rising. Any expectation we could see someone come out of the bullpen here?
I think they're really trying to get Arnold to get out of this early inning funk, and I think that's one of the reasons why they did indeed start her again today.
There's a strikeout. Kaylin Arnold will sit down Ritchie as she gets her 3rd strikeout of the day, and she's moving through the top of the second.
And that's the way they want Kaylin Arnold to finish those at-bats. You've got Arizona Ritchie up there battling, fouling off anything close, and Kaylin Arnold comes in there with that curveball that breaks just off of the plate to get her to miss and ultimately getting the strikeout, whereas earlier she missed that pitch and it ended up going all the way over the wall.
2 down now in the inning. Erica Oshro steps in. Saw a lot of Oshro yesterday as she was the starting pitcher. got tagged with the loss, but she is a very versatile player, plays a little bit of both sides, and here she is back at the plate. So we maybe wondered with Fry having pitched there this morning if we may see a little bit of Oshro in the circle. To be determined. That's a sharp liner over to third. Play made. Out number 3 from Chelsea Segern as it goes 1-2-3 this time as Kaylin Arnold rolls through the top of the second. Volunteers lead 3-1 here at the Tennessee Classic on the SEC Network.
Ladies, you'll be going home with a Tennessee prize pack. Congratulations.
Bottom of the second at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. The Lady Vols have the lead over Virginia 3-1, and we're back to the top of the order as the Lady Vols are able to go through an entire 9 batters last inning, but only able to strike across from 3. It's a beautiful Monday here at the ballpark as the rains have cleared. Good skies and good weather for softball. It's been a pretty crazy weekend.
We haven't seen the sun in so many days. It feels extremely bright out, but sun just making an appearance. Nice break from all the rain.
See, the wind was a big factor in yesterday's, but it looks like it's subsided a little bit, so weather kind of cooperating as the weekend has come through, as they had to add on this Monday later in the week, so just a lot of changes from both sides. We're finally able to get in the full tournament. Aubrey Leach standing in back to the top of the lineup. She starts out with a 1-1 count on Fry, who's back out for her second inning.
And Aubrey Leach got that base hit earlier in the game, and remember, she was standing in when she did that. She was swinging away that at bat and saw her just show bunt, so curious to see what she's doing here again, and just standing in. The whole entire time she's having this at bat, you can see her eyes. She is looking at the defense, trying to figure out where they're playing her. Are the infielders in? Are they back? And that's what she's using to determine what she's going to do going into every pitch.
The 1-2 to Leach. That one outside, ball 2. So Aubrey Leach, another hot start to the season, already top 5 in the SEC in batting average. That's usually where she hangs out most of the season. Just really does all you can ask for in a leadoff spot. Now here to lead off the second inning in a row. Takes that one for ball 3 and a full count. For Allyson Fry, it looked like she got a little bit better as the inning progressed. Not as much damage came across as you might have thought going through a full batting order in 1 inning. So maybe a little bit more strikes starting to come from Fry there at the end of the first. 3-2 from Leach. That goes up the middle. Hit number 2 from Aubrey Leach, and she leads it off with a base hit again. 2 innings in a row, and she's aboard.
And Leach in there standing in to swing away with a 3-2 count. Gets a pitch right over the heart of the plate and drives it right back up the middle. We've been talking about Allyson Fry. She's trying to work to get those pitches over the wide of the plate. Aubrey Leach knows that's exactly what she's trying to do as well, especially with the full count, but Leach able to take advantage of it for a leadoff base hit here in the second.
Already a 2-for-2 day for Aubrey Leach, and she's aboard to lead off the inning once again. And Amanda Ayala, first pitch swinging out to right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Leach over to second. So 2 hits already in the inning as Ayala, first pitch swinging. She's aboard again.
And an interesting approach from Amanda Ayala, going up there and swinging at the first pitch, knowing that Allyson Fry has been struggling to bring those balls over the plate. But want to point out, great base running by Aubrey Leach. She got off far enough for first base that she could get to second if that ball were to drop, but also if they were to catch it, she could safely make it back to first. And ultimately that ball drops, and now they've got runners on first and second base.
Chelsea Sagern back to the plate with 2 on. She walked back in the first. It's got to be tough for Allyson Fry. You face the Leech, top of the order last inning. Back again for more as 2 on once again to start the inning, as it's tough facing Leech and Ayala. Back-to-back leadoff spots.
And there never seems to be a break in this Tennessee lineup. All of them have had very, very good mental approaches to their at-bats. You've seen them swing at good pitches and not swing at those balls outside of the plate. And got to imagine that coaches Ralph and Karen Weekly really stressed that going into this game, that pitch selection was going to be a huge part of their game plan.
The 2-0 to Chelsea Sagern. Ball 3. Sagern already walked once in the game in this same exact scenario to load the bases, so at a 3-0, likely going to be pretty disciplined here, and watch this one.
Especially when you've got the hottest hitter in your lineup in Ashley Morgan on deck.
3-0 from Fry. Sagern standing in, and that one goes outside, ball 4. So pretty identical innings in the first and the second for the Lady Vols as they load the bases in 3 batters once again.
And Ashley Morgan was able to capitalize on those free passes earlier in the game, getting herself a couple of RBIs and really doing a good job in that cleanup spot after Chelsea Sagern has been walking, being able to select good pitches and drive them to the outfield and bring those runs in across the board early in the game.
Ashley Morgan back in to face Fry once again. Got the best of her last time. First pitch swinging over to short, throw on to home for out number 1. So Virginia elects to go for the force out at the plate and will hold Tennessee with no runs as Morgan will reach on the fielder's choice.
Perfect defensive positioning for Virginia. Arizona Ritchie was playing up in the base paths to do exactly that, to cut down the run at home. Ashley Morgan swings at a ball off the plate, hits a ground ball right to Arizona Ritchie. Textbook play at home plate.
So 1 down, none across on the ball put in play on the infield by Morgan, and I'll bring up Allie Shipman with a bases-loaded opportunity. First Fry. First pitch goes out of the zone. So Shipman had a good battle and flew out into right field last time up with 2 on, so now another good RBI chance for the freshman. One-0 from Fry, delivers. A good eye that time once again. 2-0 start. Allie Shipman, one of those freshmen who have been a consistency in this lineup. Started every game behind the plate. Good start at the plate as well, batting. So both sides been huge impact for the Lady Vols.
And I think being a catcher can give you such an advantage as a hitter because you understand what the pitcher's trying to throw in certain situations, and you know what their goal is in different counts.
There's a swing from Allie Shipman, heading foul down to the third base side. Count goes to 2-2. A good swing that time from Shipman. A chance for the Lady Vols to bring in some runs. Already 12 RBIs on the season. She'll take a 2-2 with bases loaded. Fry firing that one, headed down the first baseline, just foul. So both sides foul, but 2 good cuts.
And Allyson Fry making a good adjustment this inning of bringing the ball closer to the plate. You've seen a lot more swings from this Tennessee offense so far this inning than they did in the first inning. First inning, we saw a couple of walks in a row, and now she might walk a batter, but the very next one, she's coming in with that first pitch strike.
The 2-2 from Fry on Shipman. Bases loaded. Shipman, they're going to check to make sure she didn't go around. She did not. Ball 3, full count.
And check swings like that show you as a pitcher that you're doing your job. You're keeping the ball around the zone. We did not see that first time through the batting order.
3-2 now, bases loaded situation. Fry firing into Shipman, a swing. That one's headed for the gap. That's going to drop down. One run will come across. They're going to send another throw to the plate, a slide, and she's safe. Chelsea Segern beats the throw home, and it's a 2 RBI double for Allie Shipman. She gets the job done with bases loaded.
Allie Shipman battling her way back, especially after that check swing on that 2-2 count. Gets a pitch that she can get enough barrel on to drive it into right field for that stand-up double, and another 2 runs across for the Lady Vols.
That one has to feel good for Shipman, flying out in that RBI chance last inning, and now coming up clutch. A big battle with Fry, and now head coach Joe Harden will come out, and looks like that might do it for Fry. Maybe just a chat, we'll see. That'll be it. So Fry only able to go an inning and an out, as she is done for the day, as she got her second game. This one didn't go as well as the early morning one, as she will be replaced. Looks like she will be replaced by Allie Rail, freshman. She also pitched this morning, got the start.
Working with the same 2 combos. Yeah. That is very interesting. We were thinking that we might see Erica Oshiro come in from right field to pitch after Allyson Fry, but they do indeed bring in Allie Rail. She's again going to work both sides of the plate, but she also has an off speed, so she's got something else to try to get these Tennessee hitters to be just off balanced enough to where she can get some more ground ball outs.
So Rail, just like you said, had 3 innings pitched this morning. In the win over Bradley, gave up 3 hits, an earned run, and 2 strikeouts, so a pretty good performance. And she leads the team in appearances so far on the season, just as a freshman, so she's been a pretty good addition to this Cavalier staff, and she will come in to face a dangerous Tennessee couple of batters. She'll have Phillips, Bearden, and Osborne after the warm-up. 2 in scoring position.
And Rail earlier today only did give up 1 walk in 3 innings, and that's exactly what she's going to try to do. She's going to try to throw the ball over the plate, not give Tennessee any more free passes, especially when they're already down by 4 runs. You want to try to stop the bleeding and get your defense back in the dugout so that they can get some more runs on the board.
Fry was doing a little bit better job developing her pitches. She was giving these Tennessee batters pitches to hit, but they were putting them in spots where the defense couldn't make plays. And that'll be the end for Allyson Fry, as she goes an inning and 2/3, gives up 6 hits and 4 runs, walked 4 batters. And now Rail will come in for some support out of the bullpen. 1 down in the inning. First batter she'll face is Kaley Phillips, with 2 runners in scoring position.
And Phillips was another one of those batters in the first inning that did indeed walk, and seeing something different here with Rail bringing in that first pitch strike.
2 runners on. Kaley Phillips, 4 RBIs yesterday versus the Cavaliers. Chance to add on more damage. The Vols already 2 runs here in the bottom of the second. A 5-1 game. Allie Rail, 11 total innings pitched, has 2 wins on the season. That leads the team. Leads the team in appearances. She'll go to work in a tough situation, only 1 down in the inning. She'll look to try to carry the Cavaliers through. She'll have Phillips up with Bearden on deck. Only 1 down, the 2-1 pitch, a swing down the third baseline sharply and foul.
And Allie Rail, another versatile pitcher on this Virginia staff. We talked about how Erica Oshiro also plays right field and pitches. Allie Rail also ran indoor and outdoor track in high school, and she was a regional champion in the 500-meter dash. I don't know about you, but the thought of even having to run that far makes me out of breath.
No, I couldn't do it, so props to her. She's big multi-sport athlete. There's a lot of those players on this Virginia roster. There's just a lot of versatility, as you see a lot of multi-sports players, a lot of multi-sport freshmen. This is one of them.
And I think being a multi-sport athlete is so important, especially for these young players, getting used to being able to play basketball, softball, volleyball, you name it. I think it helps your body develop as an athlete.
Another sharp liner foul from Phillips as she's battling on the 3-2 count. So Rail still trying to work on her first batter faced. Trying to find out number 2 for Virginia as they're down 4 all of a sudden, had the early lead. Now finding themselves in a hole early. Once again, there's the 3-2. Again, that one goes low. Ball 4, so first batter face from Allie Rail, and it's a walk. Kaley Phillips heads down to first.
And that's Phillips' second walk on the day. A very tough at-bat, though. You can see Rails trying to bring those balls over the plate, but Kaley Phillips was able to foul those pitches off and work her way into loading up the bases yet again for Hailey Bearden.
Hailey Bearden in the first inning had an RBI single that just blooped over the head of Arizona Ritchie as that infield was playing up. And now she has another bases-loaded chance. First pitch she fouls off. Hailey Bearden, pretty good start to the season, batting 348, 8 RBIs, 2 home runs. Gets the start at the DP spot. A 1 pitch as Bearden takes it for strike 2. So an early start for Allie Rail in the count.
And you can see she's still working inside and outside of the plate. Very nice screwball, just catching the black part of that plate to register strike number 2 for Hailey Bearden and to get her into a pitcher's count going into this at-bat.
The 0-2 from Rail with bases loaded. Bearden unleashing one up high into right field over as Ostro makes the play. Morgan is going to hold up at third, no tag, and that's out number 2. A pretty big one that time from Rail.
And getting Hailey Bearden to swing at a pitch like that has everything to do with the fact that Allie Rail got ahead of Hailey Bearden 0-2. When you get to that 0-2 count, you can start to throw pitches outside of the zone, and you're going to see more swings like that. If she was 2-0 in that count, I can guarantee you that Hailey Bearden wouldn't have even looked at that pitch.
One of the first times today we've really seen a Virginia pitcher be able to work ahead in the count. There's a first pitch swinging. Blooper, shallow right field. Play made from Ostro to retire Osborne. Inning over, so Allie Rail able to come in the inning and get 2 pretty clutch outs for the Cavaliers, but the Volunteers still able to come across 2. Already through 2 innings for the Vols as they are just, like you said, a couple of solid contacts away from really breaking this game open.
And even majority of the hits that this Tennessee offense has gotten have been jam shots or a check swing like Hailey Bearden. And Aubrey Leach seems to be the only one that's been able to consistently get ball on the barrel of the bat throughout both of her at-bats so far.
For Virginia, only 1 hit, but it was the big fly, representing that 1 you see on the scoreboard. And they'll look to maybe provide a little more offense this inning. We'll see Davis, Winscott, and Busby back to the top of the order this inning. Standing in for the first time today is Ashley Davis. Davis, the junior, started 44 games a season ago. Takes that one for ball 2. Batting .250 on the early season. She'll stand in versus Arnold. She did not play on Sunday versus the Volunteers, so game 2 she makes the lineup. She has a 3-1 versus Arnold. That's a swing and a foul, looks like. Full count.
And throughout this game so far, I don't think it's a secret that this umpire is being very tight in the zone. And these Virginia batters are, at least so far with Ashley Davis's at-bat, she's being very picky at the pitches that she does swing at. She's trying to make sure that Kaylin Arnold's bringing that ball over the wide of the plate.
3-2 full count, swing and a miss, strikeout. Kaylin Arnold once again, 4th of the afternoon, as she will sit down Ashley Davis for out number 1 in the inning.
And just as I said that Ashley Davis was being picky, she goes for that ball low and inside in the zone. And when you're at a 2-strike count, that's a very, very tough pitch as a hitter to lay off of. Great movement on that ball by Kaylin Arnold.
So Arnold has pitched phenomenally since that solo shot she gave up in the first. worked out the kinks a little bit, and now she's rolling. She's only given up that 1 hit and that 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts in the game. She'll face number 9 batter Bailey Winscott. Pitch and a swing foul. Going for strike 1 for the freshman Winscott. Getting the start today out in center field. Tenth start in the season already, providing pretty good contribution for the freshman. Now an off-speed pitch, falls in for strike 1. She went with the fastball and an off-speed back-to-back. Probably got her a little out in front that time. She was running ahead. Especially as a slapper, it's really hard to slow your feet down to be on time for that changeup when you're not expecting it. The 1-2 that time falls outside from Kaylin Arnold. And Winscott, the only slapper in this Virginia lineup, and you look at Tennessee's lineup and they're full of slappers, but Virginia trying to utilize more of that power and just a little bit of speed at the end of the lineup. 2-2, up the middle, pass Arnold, over is Osborne, throws it over the head of Morgan. Play's gonna stop. And it looks like they're going to rule her out. So Winscott is the only slapper in this Virginia lineup, like we said, and she is called out on contact because her left foot was over that chalk line. The rule used to be that you could utilize the entire chalk line, so as long as a little bit of your foot was touching the chalk, you were still okay. But they switched the rules last year. It's been a difficult change for a lot of the slappers in the country. You have to keep your entire foot inside that chalk line. The rule will sit down. The 9-batter Winscott, she was able to reach on what would have been an error on the throw from Osborne. Pretty errorless Tennessee team. That time could have been bad as Winscott was rounding first for second, but the rule gets her. That slapper rule had the foot outside the box. That's out number 2 on the inning. And that definitely is a big adjustment for not just Bailey Winscott to make, but slappers all the way across the nation. And you know that Tennessee has really been working on that as well. Jenna Holcomb's been called out a couple of times this weekend for that exact same play. Got to make sure that foot's staying inside the chalk. Down the line, throw over from Segern, out number 3. As that one just dribbled down the third base line. Inning over, so Kaylin Arnold able to go 1-2-3 once again as the Lady Volunteers rolling here at the end of the top of the third. They're up 5-1 here at the Tennessee Classic on the SEC Network.
Lady Vol Nation, everybody on your feet because it's T-shirt time! Who wants a T-shirt?
Big Willie style's all in it. Get with it. Get with it. Get with it.
Monday here at the Tennessee Classic. The Lady Volunteers up 5-1 on Virginia, headed into the bottom of the third. This is the second time this weekend Tennessee has played the Cavaliers. They got the 11-1 victory yesterday. It is the now 11th matchup of all time between the two teams, as Virginia has a little bit of team history here in Knoxville, as they played their only postseason appearance in Knoxville in the regional. So, and not only did they play Tennessee, but they played Louisville as well, who's here in this Tennessee Classic in that regional. So maybe a sign of things to come for Virginia, coming back to where they played in the postseason just 9 years ago, looking to maybe make a run to make it back. If not this year, in the coming years for sure. Very young team. A lot of older pieces to make noise right now. Right now, playing a pretty competitive game versus Tennessee. Only down 4. That's pretty reasonable.
And the postseason's definitely a goal for Coach Harden and for this team. And she said that they've got a mix on their team between making history and changing history. So she's got freshmen coming in that want to make history for this Virginia lineup, and she's got upperclassmen that really want to change the story of the past couple of years for this Virginia program.
This is a team that lost their final 14 games of the season. Tough ACC outing a year ago. It's a tough conference, but 3-21 finish there in the ACC. Picked to finish 12th this season. So maybe looking to have a better out in conference play, as that conference play is nearing. Just a few weeks away for both sides. Bottom of the 3rd. Now there's a swing off the glove of Busby, and a hard liner will allow Jenna Holcomb to reach. And the leadoff is aboard once again for the Volunteers' 3rd inning in a row. Jenna Holcomb, a hard-hitting swing to 3rd.
And those versatile slappers are so hard for defenses to defend against. You saw that Hailey Busby was playing all the way up the line trying to defend that bunt in case Jenna Holcomb did lay one down, but she ends up getting the ball up in the zone, gets her barrel on it. It hits a line drive straight at Busby, who isn't able to catch it and complete it for the out, and it ends up being a base hit for Jenna Holcomb to start off this 3rd inning.
That one might have caught Busby a little bit off guard. You're not expecting that power, as Leach trying to lay down the bunt, just foul down the 3rd base side, as Leach trying to effectively use her slap position and the speed that she has to beat out the play and advance Holcomb, but just foul that time.
And to your point, I would think when you're going through these scouting reports, hey, Aubrey Leach is definitely the one that's more known for her power. Jenna Holcomb tries to put the ball on the ground and make things happen. So I totally agree with you. I think that Hailey Busby was caught off guard by that hard line drive off of Holcomb's bat.
The 1 for Leach. She's 2 for 2 today. Takes that one for strike 2. That one an off speed from Allie Rail. Holcomb's hit was the first one given up through Allie Rail through only 2/3 of work. Came in last inning. Now up against Leach. Leach on the ground over to short. Play made on the dive. Flipped to second for out number 1. Great play from Arizona Ritchie to retire Holcomb, the lead runner.
I've got to say, Andy, plays like that are things that get me really fired up here in the press box. Just a great job by Arizona Ritchie. Phenomenal diving effort going up towards second base, and she's able to flip that ball right at the last minute to get the speedy Holcomb at second base. Great play all around and a huge momentum shift for these Virginia Cavaliers.
Top play of the day from Ritchie as she's supporting her pitcher Rail in the circle as Leach is retired for the first time. There's a first pitch swinging. Play made right to left fielder Barbour, and Ayala is retired. So these top 2 batters for Tennessee who've been so consistent, their first appearance, first Rail, and they're sat down pretty quickly.
Well, so far this game, we haven't really seen a lot of solid hits put in play. We've seen Aubrey Leach have a couple, but besides that, up until this point, we really hadn't seen any. And now, this inning, Tennessee seems to be finding those sweet spots on those barrels, a couple of hard-hit balls, but right to these Virginia defenders.
Defense backing up Rail here in the 3rd. His first pitch swinging fouled back by Chelsea Seger. 2 walks on the day so far. She's come around to score both times. And first pitch she was swinging, so maybe looking to put some contact, put one in play this time. She'll have an 0-1 start from Rail. 2 down in the inning. Big swing from Segern, popped up into left field. Barbour over to make the play. So a quick inning this time from Allie Rail in Virginia, as Tennessee not able to come across any runs for the first time in the ball game, as the score stays 5-1 here Monday at the Tennessee Classic here on the SEC Network. 5-1, 7 hits for the Vols, only 1 for the Cavaliers, and it was a solo shot in the top of the 1st. We'll head to the 4th. Tennessee with a slight lead. They will face the 2-3-4 batters for the Cavaliers. Andy Brock here with Madison Shipman, providing all the coverage here on the last day.
Abigail Barbour.
Very pretty day in Knoxville here at the Tennessee Classic. Tennessee, a little bit of a shift in the infield as Aubrey Leach moves over to shortstop and Savannah Huffstetler steps in at second base.
And I definitely think that has to do with the fact that they're still working Gracie Osborne into that starting position at shortstop, recovering from that tib-fib fracture last summer. Just working her into some innings, getting her the feel of the field.
Grounder over to Huffstetler, her first play, and she makes the throw over to first, out number 1.
Isn't it amazing how the ball has eyes? It's like it knows that you're that's your first play out there on the field all day, and it wants to make sure that you get a ground ball as soon as you get out there.
Huffstetler wasn't ready. She is now. One batter faced out in the field, one batter put away for the red shirt junior. It's definitely different seeing Aubrey Leach over at shortstop, the place that was held for so long by Megan Gregg. And now Aubrey Leach sliding over. Just a different feel a little bit for this Tennessee team, not having such a prolific player in Megan Gregg, but so far able to adjust pretty decently.
Well, and I think that shows you just how versatile Aubrey Leach is, being able to keep her game at such a high level, whether she's playing second or short.
It's Megan Gregg, big loss as she was just all over the Tennessee record books. Moving on after her senior season, that's a big hole in the lineup to fill. But it seems like Leach and Segern are able to easily step into that role. The 1-1 to Lacey Smith, fouled off towards the right side into the crowd.
And Lacey Smith was the hitter back in the first inning that hit that home run to get things going for Virginia. Hit that towering ball over the left field wall, and you can see there that Kaylin Arnold's really trying to work that outside half to throw her something different.
The 1-2, another big swing out to center, and the play is made by Jenna Holcomb. She had to retreat back into the warning track, and a sharp liner from Smith. There is out number 2 as Smith sits down.
Smith's bat continues to be red hot, but just a great catch by Jenna Holcomb in center field. That's exactly what Coach Karen Weekly was talking about earlier in the week. She wants to see more great plays made by her defense, and that's just another one to add to that tally column. I think that Coach Karen Weekly would be happy about that.
As Coach Karen said earlier this week, she wanted her team to not necessarily make just the routine plays, but to make those big game-changing plays. Mentioned it happened to them versus Florida State. Plays like that she wants to see her team make, and that's a big one right there to take away the hit from Lacey Smith. Arnold in the zone now. 1-1 count as she hasn't allowed a hit since that Lacey Smith home run. I don't think it really allowed much noise at all.
And that's what you want to do as a pitcher. If you're going to give up a home run, you want to try to shut down the rest of the lineup after that. And so far, Arnold has done a good job of that today.
The 1-1 pitch, that one goes outside, ball 2. As Arnold 4 strikeouts on the afternoon. Only 1 earned run in the position for the win. Here on a Monday, 2-1 pitch and a foul. Backwards again from Donna Freeman. As Freeman grounded out to second, her last time up. 0 for 1 on the day for the freshman. She'll stand in with no one on and 2 down. 2-2 from Arnold, delivers on the ground over the short. It's Aubrey Leach from shortstop, makes the play. And it is another 1-2-3 inning. The defense making some plays as another 0 in the column for the Cavaliers. Tennessee leading 5-1 here on a Monday at the Tennessee Classic. 1 2/3 innings of work. Only 1 hit given up.
And it did seem like last inning Tennessee was starting to find a bit of a rhythm, hitting more balls solidly, but her defense working behind rail and getting some huge outs.
She will face Ashley Morgan. Already 2 RBIs on the day. Had a single that kind of blooped into that gap, and right center brought around 2. Put Tennessee out on top as she has continued her very strong outing here at home this weekend. Now she'll lead it off. The 1-0 from Rail. Morgan swinging and a foul tip.
And Rail does have that off speed, so again, Tennessee starting to make better contact. I wouldn't be surprised if in this inning we're starting to see more and more of those off speeds to get their timing off just enough to where they're mishitting those balls.
Rail sets on the 1-1. That one just outside. Morgan hanging around. The average has skyrocketed now for Ashley Morgan, batting .500 on the season, 18 hits for her. It's nearing the top of the team. Looks to continue her strong performance today. Another swing, another foul, that off-speed pitch, looks like.
Morgan does look like she's out in front. And you know what? That's exactly what I would throw to these hitters. I would try to make them hit my best pitch. And right now it looks like that off speed for Rail is her best pitch. And if they beat you on that, then you tip your hat to them. But until they beat you, you just keep on pounding that zone with that changeup.
The 2-2 offering from Rail. Morgan, another one fouled backwards. Just barely making some contact here. As Rail's definitely thrown a little bit more pitches to hit than maybe we saw from Fry. As only one batter walked, and strikes are coming a little bit more easier for her. Another 2-2 offering to Morgan. That one just a little up and a full count. Seven hits in the ball game for the Lady Vols. They lead by 4 here in the bottom of the 4th. Morgan looking to lead it off with a 3-2 count. Pitches in and another foul. Staying alive in a battle with Allie Rail.
Ashley Morgan, a member of the 2018 SEC All-Freshman team. She looks just so much more composed in the box than she did last year. It speaks volumes to that jump from going to a freshman to a sophomore. You just have so much more confidence in your play. Just like that, she gets a walk, battles her way. She fouls off some marginal pitches, was a little bit out in front on some of those changeups, but again, keeps her composure, doesn't swing out of the zone, ends up drawing a leadoff walk here for the Lady Volunteers.
One of the more disciplined at-bats of the game for the Lady Vols, really earned that walk. Battled back, a couple of fouled off pitches, and now Ashley Morgan is representing the lead-off runner over on first. We're going to see a pinch runner. Looks like Tiana Batts. Batts, the junior out of Taylorsville, North Carolina, will step over to first. She was 1 for 2 on Sunday versus Virginia, getting a couple at-bats, and now here in the pitch running position. We'll probably see a lot of her this season in that pitch run scenario.
Tiana Batts, and stepping to the plate, number 34, Allie Shipman.
She will represent Morgan as that leadoff runner on first. Now bring back in Allie Shipman for her third at-bat of the afternoon. Here in the 4th, first pitch swing and headed right field. That one's going back off the wall. Batts heading for third as Shipman easily in there with a double. Another base hit for Allie Shipman. She had an RBI in the 2nd, and now a big double into right field.
A very good adjustment by Allie Shipman in that at-bat. She got a base hit her previous at-bat, but it seemed to jam her on the hands a little bit, able to get her timing down on that pitch and get fully extended to drive that ball over the head of Erica Oshiro in right field. And now they've got runners in scoring position for Kayleigh Phillips.
Allie Shipman moving the runners over on the double. Now 2 in scoring position. First pitch swinging for Phillips. High pop up into foul territory. And that one is out of reach as it hits just barely that fence over there. In right, goes foul. Phillips 2 walks on the day for her, and now with a chance for some RBIs if she can get this one down. No outs in the inning. Shipman has put Phillips in a good position.
And these are the situations that you just absolutely love as a hitter, and not only just a hitter, but a power hitter at that. just like Kaley Phillips, you come up here and you know that you have so many opportunities to score a run, whether it be a base hit or even a sac fly. You're trying to look for a ball up in the zone that you can get to the grass to easily score the speedy Tiana Batts from third base.
Allie Rail, no outs in the inning, just gave up her second hit. Now in a tough position, but a good pitch there. Goes for strike 2. No runs given up by Allie Rail as held Tennessee pretty quiet last inning. Their first 0 up in the column. But now with 2 on, no outs. Big spot for Kayleigh Phillips. There's the pitch, another foul backwards. These Tennessee batters are really battling with Rail.
And Phillips has moved her way all the way to the front of the box to try to be on time. We did see Ashley Morgan swinging out in front of a couple of pitches. Allie Shipman was able to get on time on her first pitch, but Kayleigh Phillips really working to get her timing in check by moving all the way to the front.
The 1-2 pitch again for Phillips. That one way outside. Good snag by Gott. Pass ball could have been a little dangerous there.
And Tiana Batts was definitely ready to take home on that one. She was waiting for that ball to slip away from Gott, but a very athletic move from behind the plate to make sure that that ball did not get by her.
Another offering for Phillips, and that one's high, gets by the catcher Gott. Here comes Tiana Batts, a slide, and she's safe. Shipman over to third, and the Volunteers up 6-1 now as they come across a run on that wild pitch from Rail.
Well, Batts was just waiting for it over at third base, and got to wonder if it's maybe putting some more pressure on Olivia Gott back behind the plate, because she knows that she can see Tiana Batts at third base. And again, that ball ends up sailing away, and another run for the Lady Vols.
That first play was made and maybe became a little bit more present of the aggressiveness of Batts, and she was able to beat out the play at home. Scott tried to flip it back to Rail, but Batts was there. Volunteers get a run in the bottom of the fourth.
Kayleigh Phillips continues to battle here, but still struggling to get her timing. You saw she hit that ball off the very, very end of the bat, and it spun all the way over to the first base dugout, and she's still way up there in the box trying to get on time.
3-2, no one out. Phillips popping it up high in the infield. Ranging over is Busby, and she will make the play for out number 1, so the battle is won that time from Allie Rail, finally getting Phillips on the infield flyout.
Phillips had the right idea throughout that at-bat, trying to get the ball up in the air, hit the ball far enough into the outfield to score Allie Shipman from third base, but she isn't able to get enough barrel on that ball to send it past the dirt, and fly ball to third base is out number 1 for this inning.
Shipman still on third, only 1 down now. Hailey Bearden steps in. First pitch swinging, another infield pop-up. This one over to short for Ritchie, and she makes the play. 2 back-to-back infield pop-ups for the Vols.
Again, the right idea, trying to get the ball in the air, but they're just not making good enough contact to get these balls out to the outfield. You have so many opportunities as a hitter to get that runner in from third when you have less than 2 outs, and now the challenge is really set for Savannah Huffstedler to try to get another run across the board here with 2 outs.
Savannah Huffstedler, her first at-bat is an RBI opportunity, the redshirt junior out of Sewanee, Georgia. She's gotten 5 starts this season already, only a .077 average. There's a big swing. First pitch, high fly ball out to center. Over to make the play is Winscott. So the Volunteers strand 1, but Tiana Batts with an aggressive base running play, able to come across on the pass ball, and Tennessee extending their lead 6-1. We are through 4 here in Knoxville on the SEC Network.
The bottom of the fourth, there was 1 run on 1 hit, there were no errors, and 1 runner left on base.
Lady Vol fans, it's time to stretch your legs and warm up those vocal cords, because it is time for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Whoever sings the loudest will win free peanuts. All right, a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Take me out to
We are through 4 here in Knoxville on a Monday at the Tennessee Classic as Volunteers leading the Cavaliers 6-1. A pretty afternoon on Monday. Pretty good crowd out in the stands from both sides making the trip. Virginia, a couple other representatives from other teams we'll have in the tournament. You got fans from Bradley, Kansas, Louisville. A pretty good weekend for a tournament despite some of the rain, despite some of the delaying. Finally getting some softball in. First pitch, sharp swing into the crowd from Gott. Got all of that one.
And Olivia Gott is still the only batter for this Virginia lineup that is standing all the way at the front of the box, no matter who Tennessee has thrown on the mound, whether it be Maddy Moss or Kaylin Arnold. She likes to be in the front of the box to try to get those pitches before they break.
There's a pitch into the opposite field. That drops in for a base hit for Olivia Gott. Got 2 sharp swings at the at-bat, and she's aboard. Second hit of the day for Virginia.
A very aggressive at-bat again by Gott. She gets that pitch on the inside half and just smashes it into the left field stands and does a nice job of adjusting on that curveball that she struck out on last at-bat, able to get barrel on it for a nice base hit into right field to start off this inning.
First batter up here in the 5th. First batter on for Virginia. Leadoff Gott is aboard with no outs. First pitch into Arizona Ritchie goes to ball 1. Ritchie struck out in the 2nd. Now we'll see what Kaylin Arnold can do with her first base runner on. The 1-0 start to Ritchie. Sets and deals. Ritchie, big swing, headed for the gap in left center. That's going to one-hop the fence. Gott rounding second for third, and it's a double for Arizona Ritchie. 2 back-to-back swings for the Cavaliers. Have them in business in the top of the 5th.
And remember, Arizona Ritchie was the shortstop that made that phenomenal play on Aubrey Leach earlier in the game, so I've got to imagine that gave her some momentum going up to this at-bat. She had a really long battle in at-bat number 1, ended up striking out, but takes advantage of that screwball on the inside half of the plate and drives it into the left field gap.
Infield in to have a discussion with Kaylin Arnold as first 2 batters faced in the inning are base hits. It looks like Coach Ralph Weekly making some kind of change, and it's Maddy Moss coming out of the dugout. That'll do it for Kaylin Arnold. Pretty good performance from Arnold. Only gave up 1 hit, 1 run on that solo shot in the first, and had been just about perfect up until this point. And now she's got 2 runners in scoring position, and they will look to Maddy Moss.
And Maddy Moss is going to be more of your power pitcher, so she's going to throw the ball in the mid-60s, but she's going to work the ball more low in the zone. Kaylin Arnold likes to utilize that rise ball to try to get swing and misses up. Maddy Moss really likes that fastball in the low inside and outside half of the plate, but the other pitch that I really like that she's brought to the table this year is an off-speed drop. So it's going to be just a little bit slower than her regular fastballs to try to get these hitters off time.
Set it a little bit more to the arsenal here. And another season for Maddy Moss, her senior season. 3rd in program history in ERA. Such an experienced pitcher for the Vols as she gets ready to go against Virginia now for the 2nd time this weekend, as she got the win on Sunday in the starting role, went the whole game, all 5 innings, and now she's back for more.
And another thing you're going to notice about Maddy Moss on the mound is she's going to bring a ton of energy. You know exactly when she gets a strikeout because she likes to high step, she likes to point at her teammates, just brings all that fun and passion out there on the mound with her.
Brings all the energy, gets the teammates involved, talking to everyone. Just a very electric player up on the mound. As she went 5 innings pitched, only 2 hits, 1 earned run versus Virginia. Gave up a solo home run herself, but now steps in a pretty tough situation. You're only up 5 with 2 on, no outs. Virginia can really make a ball game out of this still with a big hit to drop in. So Maddy Moss has got to be careful. 2 on now for Virginia. She'll have Oshro, the first batter, so Sunday's starting pitchers going at it.
And Oshero's a hitter that does have the potential to hit the home run, too. She hit 6 home runs during last season.
Already 1 for her on this season as well. She'll step in an RBI chance for Virginia. Not many opportunities like this so far for the Cavaliers. Let's see if they can take advantage of Maddy Moss, her first batter faced. So we've seen Moss a lot this season kind of transition to a heavier, more bullpen type role. Not as many starts so far, but it's been pretty solid coming out of the bullpen. The 0-1, swing, pop up in the infield. Aubrey Leach, range over, will make the play. There'll be no tag. And there's out number 1 quickly from Maddy Moss.
And it looked like Erica Oshiro was trying to take a note out of Olivia Gott's playbook. She went all the way up in the box versus Maddy Moss, and Moss did a nice job of getting that ball on the inside half of the plate to jam Oshiro up enough to where she could get an infield pop-up to Aubrey Leach for out number 1.
So a big first out for the Lady Vols, and that'll bring up Ashley Davis, the second baseman, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout in the 3rd. Now standing in with 2 on. Moss goes first pitch, strike 1. It's Maddy Moss looking to bring the energy and get Lady Vols out of the jam. Davis 3 RBIs on the season so far. Swinging a .241 bat. That one goes ball 1. Virginia trying to avoid the run rule this time around against the Volunteers. They were done after 5 yesterday, and now you're right in it, the top of the 5th. Moss that time, fastball inside, ball 2.
And I like the adjustment from Ashley Davis. She saw that Erica Oshiro went up there and went all the way in the front of the box and got jammed. Ashley Davis decides to do something different, go all the way to the back of the box and make Maddy Moss really work for those strikes.
The 2-1 for Moss, 2 on, 1 down in the inning. Fires in that one outside again, ball 3 now. Moss 3-1 on the season so far. 23 innings pitched. 35 strikeouts for her. This fall staff has been pretty solid with the strikeout ball so far. She'll have a 3-1. There's a pitch and a swing. Pop up, foul territory over Segern. Play made. Loud out number 2 on the foul out. Big one from Maddy Moss there.
And we saw earlier in that at-bat, Maddy Moss trying to work that fastball low and inside to Ashley Davis. Earlier in the count, it was just a bit too inside. She didn't get that swing, but a very, very solid pitch and a 3-1 count to get Ashley Davis to get jammed up enough to get a pop-up to Chelsea Segern for out number 2.
Looked like Ashley Davis was kind of ahead in the count. She was getting the pitches she wanted. She was taking good balls, and then great comeback from Maddy Moss. Got that pop out in foul territory. Huge out number 2.
Emma McBride.
It looks like there will be a pitch hitter now for Virginia, Emma McBride. She will stand in for the first time, the freshman out of Magnolia, Texas. That pitch is in for strike 1 from Moss.
Emma McBride with 2 at-bats off of Maddy Moss yesterday, a ground ball to third base and a ground ball right back to the pitcher. So she's really going to try to get some more barrel on the ball here and try to drive something to the outfield to continue this inning for the Cavaliers.
The 0-1 set from Maddy Moss to McBride. 2 on in the inning. And there's ball 1. Five starts on the year so far for McBride, primarily that second base spot. Did not get the start this afternoon. She's batting .222 on the season. Standing in a big spot with 2 outs. The 1-1 from Moss, that one is low. Ball 2.
And I like this pinch hitting move by Coach Harden because she knows that Emma McBride got 2 at-bats off of Maddy Moss, and she said that they're a really smart thinking team and they like to use data to give themselves the highest possibility of performing on the field, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing with this pinch hitter here.
2-1 from Moss, and that one goes in, strike 2. Moss 1 strike away from getting out of the jam here in the top of the 5th. She's got 2 pop-ups short in the infield. Now looking to sit down McBride. Stop the threatening Cavaliers. The 2-2. 2 on, 2 outs. Moss deals a swing and a miss, strike 3. Maddy Moss comes in the jam and gets him out of it. Lady Vols able to stop the threatening Cavaliers. It's 6-1 here at Knoxville. The Tennessee Classic on the SEC Network.
Fans, the Lady Vols' next set of home games will be against BYU in Texas on March 14th through the 17th as they host the Tennessee Invitational. To find out more information on ticket pricing and promotion, please visit utsports.com/softball.
We'll see the 9-1-2 batters here in the inning. Holcomb, Leach, and Ayala. Holcomb leading it off once again. She had a sharp liner in the 3rd inning. Went off the glove of Busby and reached.
And you know that line drive's got to be in the back of the mind of Hailey Busby over at 3rd base, but she's still playing up. Got to make sure that she's defending the bunt, but I can guarantee you that glove's in a much quicker position than it was last time.
Shirley is going to be ready this time in case 1-1 count. She puts it high, pop up into right field, shallow, and the play is made by Oshro. So Holcomb goes the other way this time and is out number 1 for Allie Rail. Rail is now officially through 3 innings of work and has only given up 1 hit, 1 earned run on that pass ball last inning. But other than that, has really worked through this lineup pretty well.
And she's making these Tennessee hitters put the ball in play, and defense necessarily hasn't been something that's been a strong suit for Virginia so far this year. They've got 23 errors on the season, but this game really bringing it and making diving plays, making great plays in the outfield, working behind Allie Rail on the mound.
A little more confidence all around after those first few innings as Fry was able, a couple of walks really maybe got in her head a little bit. The team not as much action as they are getting right now with Rail. Now 1 quick out in the inning. Aubrey Leach standing in, showing bunt, fouls it off.
And you know, Tennessee has really left a lot of runners on base. There have been several opportunities where they could have busted this game wide open, but the Virginia pitchers doing a good job of shutting it down and not letting too many runs come across the board.
8 runners left on base to be exact for Tennessee. A couple times in bases loaded situations. A lot of them on 2nd and 3rd. There's a swing from Leach in foul territory, out of play. That's 10 total, though, from both sides, as Virginia had a chance last inning, but it's been tough coming by some of these RBI chances.
And even last inning for Tennessee, Ashley Morgan leads off with a walk. Allie Shipman comes up with a double, and then they had 3 straight pop-ups. They could not do anything to get those to get Allie Shipman across the board. It ended up being a wild pitch that ended up scoring Tiana Batts, who was running for Ashley Morgan.
Leach, a little dribbler right out in front to the left side, and she's aboard. And it was kind of a swinging bunt. Didn't show bunt, but the swing was a bunt, and she gets over to first. Beats out any chance of a throw.
Sometimes those swinging bunts are the hardest ones on the field to defend because the infield is bracing themselves for the fact that Aubrey Leach could very well stand in there and swing away and ends up slapping that one, gets it right off the end of the bat, taken off down the first baseline, and does look like Coach Joe Harden is coming out to ask to see if Aubrey Leach was in fact out of the box when she made contact with that ball.
Leach didn't get all of it, but put it in just the right spot. Busby couldn't even make a play over, easily beating it out for her 3rd hit of the ball game. And there is that discussion going on. Would it be a huge second out, and not allowing Aubrey Leach to get over to first would be monumental for this inning. This top of the order has been just real dangerous.
And Ayala hit that screaming line drive to left field her last at bat. Another nice play made by the Virginia defense to get out of that inning.
Coach Harden will head on back to the dugout after a small discussion, as Leach is going to remain on first for Amanda Ayala, who's 1 for 2 today. Like you mentioned, that big single back in the 2nd inning. She's come around for 2 runs. A runner on and 1 out now. First pitch, and Gott will be looking over to Aubrey Leach. She gave her a little glance after that pitch. Watch out for Leach on the move. Already one stolen base.
I would say she's going to be on the move here in the next couple of pitches to try to get a runner in scoring position for Amanda Ayala.
The 0-1 for Ayala. Ayala swinging in foul territory, and it will drop down, no harm. As Busby was heading over, couldn't make the play. Ayala in her sophomore year, newfound power forward, really kind of starting to make that leap out of her freshman season. You never know really what you're going to get a freshman year, but now kind of settled into your role.
And we did get an opportunity to talk to Coach Karen Weekly about Ayala earlier in the week. And she said that Amanda just seemed to tiptoe throughout her freshman year. It was like when you test out the water before you jump in. She just put her toes in the water, tried to get a feel for it, and they really said this year they want her to go ahead and just dive on in. And so far this year, that's what we've seen from Amanda Ayala. And I guarantee you that's got to be a reason why she's having the production that she is having.
She has earned that starting outfield spot here at the second spot in the lineup. That one is fouled down the line dangerously for another foul for Amanda Ayala. Hanging around, 1-2 count. Tennessee really 3 big losses in that lineup. You saw Greg at short, and that's where Aubrey Leach kind of filled in. But 2 starting outfielders have moved on, McSwain and McLean. So a couple of people vying for those starting outfield spots, and Amanda Ayala seems to have locked up one of those. The 1-2, Ayala, another foul. Pair of fouls now for Amanda Ayala, battling with Allie Rail.
We've seen a lot of these Tennessee hitters go deep into the counts on Rail, fouling off a lot of pitches. Rail's doing a nice job of staying right around the strike zone, but taking enough off of that ball to get these Tennessee hitters to be out in front on a lot of these swings.
The 1-2 count, runner on, 1 down. Swing, Ayala, pop up over into left field, and the play will be made by Barbour. 2 down now as Ayala popping up. Leach will have to stay on first.
A very big out by Rail, and again, Ayala battling, trying to get something that she can handle, but getting that ball off the end of the bat, wasn't able to square it up and tried to get something going, and Aubrey Leach tried to take off and steal on a couple of those swings, but the foul balls made her come all the way back to first. So here we are with 2 outs, Chelsea Sagan trying to make something happen.
First pitch roll, and there goes Aubrey Leach, and she's easily over to second on the low pitch ball. Got away from Gott.
Leach is just such a smart base runner. She's looking for any opportunity to get herself into a better position to score, and right there that ball just gets away from Olivia Gott, even out in front of her, but Aubrey does not hesitate at all, take second base standing up.
Tennessee now with a runner in scoring position. Sagan will be looking to bring her home with 2 down, no runs in the inning. Another one rolling in the dirt for Sagan. 2 low ones from Allie Rail. Sagan 0 for 1 on the day, flew out in the 3rd, and then walked and came around for 2 runs back in the 1st and the 2nd. 2-0 to Sagan, swinging into left field, and that goes foul. Almost made the play out there.
Can we call that an air out there? In
Maybe,
the stands,
maybe
do they
a
get
little,
an air?
Maybe a little air out there. 2-1 now, Chelsea Sagan. 2 down in the inning. Allie Rail looking to get out unharmed. The 2-1 pitch, Sagan another foul. The foul count just really up for the Volunteers. Allie Rail giving them pitches to hit.
And you can see Chelsea Sagan after that swing trying to tell herself to let that ball travel. She knows she's out in front of those pitches. She's already up in the front of the box, but just got to start her swing just a tad bit later to be on time for those pitches.
The 2-2, 2 down, swing out in front into center field. Ranging over is Winscott, and she's there. Out number 3 on the pop-up from Sagan. So Rail unscathed at the bottom of the 5th. We stay at a 6-1 score. We'll head into the 6th inning. Virginia will look to put on some runs. It's a Tennessee Classic here on the SEC Network.
For pregame warm-up with the Dugout Run-Out program. Call 865-946-7000 for more information or to book your team today. Also, fans, in an effort to improve traffic flow leaving Sherry Parker Lee Stadium, all fans departing this week's tournament will be required to go west on Neyland Drive. Officers will be continuously directing cars to only turn right. Once again, turn right from Joan Crenner Way onto Neyland Drive. Thank you in advance for your cooperation.
We're into the 6th inning here at the Tennessee Classic between Tennessee and Virginia. Game 2 between these two squads on the weekend. And Maddy Moss back in the circle after a dominant top of the 5th where she got the Volunteers out of a big jam as Virginia started off the inning with 2 big hits. 2 runners in scoring position but came across with none.
And they were very loud hits, too. They hit those balls right on the nose. Olivia Gott starting it off. And then Arizona Ritchie with that solid hit into left field.
First pitch, that one rolling right to the catcher. That one might have gotten away from Moss.
If I had to guess, I'd say that Maddy Moss didn't want that ball to go there.
No.
I don't think he wanted to bounce a couple of times before it gets to home.
I don't think that one was the intention, but so she'll laugh it off. It's only the first pitch of the inning. No real harm there. It's the first pitch, a definite ball. That one just up a little high for a 2-0 start for Hailey Busby, top of the lineup for Virginia.
And Coach Harden had a lot of really good things to say about Hailey Busby and said that she has a really great approach at the plate and she's a tone setter for their entire lineup.
There's strike 1 for Moss on Busby. She's 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a ground out. She had that solo home run on Sunday, went 2 for 3 this morning, so has been one of the better hitters for Virginia, but hasn't really found anything here today yet. 2-1 from Moss to Busby, and that one's in. A good pitch, strike 2.
And typically at the leadoff spot, you see a lot of left-handed batters that have the ability to hit, slap, and bunt. But for Virginia, they really like Hailey Busby, even though she's a righty, but to give her the most at-bats as possible throughout the game.
2-2 from Moss. Swing and a miss. Maddy Moss gets Busby. Strikeout to start the inning. Strikeout number 2 for her. 2 in a row. And there's 1 down now in the inning.
A really good sequence of pitches for Maddy Moss. She threw that first off-speed ball just a little bit low, I would say, but came back in with those curveballs on the outside half of the plate and ends up getting Hailey Busby to swing and miss for strikeout number 2 on the day. 2 on the day.
Good, definite good recovery from that first pitch. Big change from the roller to strikeout. Good comeback from Maddy Moss. 1 down in the inning, gets the lead off. Busby will move on to Abigail Barbour. Freshman batting 0 for 2. Only 3 hits on the day for the Cavaliers. 2 of them came last inning. That one in the dirt as well. Shipman on the block.
And that off-speed does seem to be falling out of her hand just a little bit too soon, and it's one of the things that I know Maddy Moss was working on, is trying to stay consistent throughout all of her pitches, and that ball just seems to be falling out a little bit, and here she is taking time, regathering herself after that other ball goes into the dirt, trying to bring something over the plate here to bring the count back to 2-1.
The 2-0 from Moss. Fires, and that one's in strike one. 2-1 count now for Maddy Moss. Moss, pretty dominant start so far in the circle. Mentioned she got out of that jam. She pitched very well against the Cavaliers yesterday, picking right back where she left off. It's a 2-1. Good swing. That one will fall in for a base hit for Abigail Barbour into right field, and she's aboard with one down.
Abigail Barbour taking advantage of that pitch right over the heart of the plate and just absolutely turns on it. Kayleigh Phillips in right field was going to try to make a play at first base, but she ends up going down to field that ball with two hands, and the only way that you have a shot to get the out at one is to field it with one hand, come up cleanly, fire to one, but Abigail Barbour hits that ball just a little bit too hard and ends up with a base hit.
Definitely a big swing on that one, as Phillips did have the chance, but just like you said, gotta get that one with one hand. And the first hit given up from Maddy Moss. First pitch strike into Lacey Smith. Smith solo shot back in the first. That's Virginia's only run of the ball game. Way back there in the top of the first. Now with a runner on, Lacey Smith trying to make some more noise in this batting order. Off speed that time, just missing. A little bit better control that time, though.
You can see her really working on that pitch this inning, trying to get these hitters off balance. Virginia seems to be finding a groove. They're making a lot more solid contact, and that's one of those advantages of having that off speed, is you can mess with their timing.
1-1 pitch from Moss, swing and a miss. Good velocity that time by Maddy Moss, and she's got ahead in the count, 1-2. Smith batting .390 on the season. 5 home runs already. She'll stand in down 1-2 to Maddy Moss. Pitch and a swing and a foul from Smith, staying alive. Smith, just a very versatile player. Really can play all around several different positions. Is such an important asset for the Cavaliers. It's the 1-2 from Moss. Smith, another foul.
And another tough at-bat here, working her way deep into this count, seeing a lot of different pitches from Maddy Moss. We've seen a curveball, we've seen a fastball, we've even seen that off-speed. So she's seen a little bit of everything, and she continues to stay right there in the middle of the box. So she's not all the way in the back, she's not all the way in the front. She's found her comfort zone right there in the middle.
Another 1-2 offering, a swing out in front of that one, off the glove of Chelsea Segern, and everyone's safe. That one might go down as an error in the infield. Just the second this season, and Lacey Smith's aboard.
And Maddy Moss was the one to make the first error of the season for the Lady Vols earlier in this tournament. Lacey Smith gets out in front on that off-speed, but gets enough barrel on it to where Chelsea Segern isn't able to come up with it cleanly. And now here we are. Virginia's found themselves some momentum here in the 6th inning.
Segern might have been looking to second a little bit too soon, took her eye off the ball. Everyone is safe as the result. 2 on with only 1 down for Virginia. 2nd inning in a row, they've got base runners. It's Donna Friedman, first pitch offered, went around on the check swing.
Coach Harden taking a second to talk to Donna Friedman after she had that check swing on that off-speed pitch, maybe trying to calm her down here. She might have gotten out thinking too much results-based in this situation. As a hitter, you really got to stick to your game plan, because if you go up there trying to think, I got to get a hit, I got to get a hit, that's when you start swinging out of the zone and you have check swings like we just saw there. So Coach Harden doing a nice job of just calming down her player, making sure she sticks in the zone, swinging at good pitches, and just try to get some solid barrel on the ball.
2 ground outs on the day for Friedman. That's a pitch swinging. Strike 2 now, 0-2 deficit for Donna Friedman. Maddy Moss, we've already seen her work in a jam. This one's not even near as bad as last inning. 2 on, only 1 in scoring position, but a hit could bring across a runner. The 0-2 from Moss. Fires in that one, hits the dirt. Back behind Shipman, and the runners will advance on over. Now 2 in scoring position on the throw in the dirt.
Maddy Moss still trying to work that off speed. Again, it's slipping out of her hands very early in her windup, and that ball bounced well in front of the batter's box and bounces off of Allie Shipman's shoulder and allows those base runners to advance.
Virginia once again, second inning in a row. They have 2 runners on. Can they bring them around this time? Only 1 down still. Friedman in a 1-2 count. Moss fires a swing over to third, off second. Leach will pick it up and will not be able to make a play over as Virginia comes across a run as Barbour touches home plate. It is 6-2 here in Knoxville on a hard swing from Donna Friedman.
Whatever Coach Harden told Donna Friedman during that timeout obviously worked, because Donna Friedman gets up there and makes a really good adjustment with her swing to get on top of this ball. She just drills that ball square on the nose right at Chelsea Sagern. And again, another hard hit ball to the left side that Sagern isn't able to handle. And still we got 1 away with now runners on first and second base with Olivia Gott up to bat. And remember, she was the one that started off last inning with that hard hit.
That's right, and still 2 on for Virginia, as there was a conference right at the center, a little infield conference. We've seen a few wild pitches. We've seen the error. Just not the most solidly sound inning for this Tennessee defense, and they'll have a little discussion about it and reset themselves. Still only 1 down.
And you know, as a defense, that Maddy Moss is trying to work the ball low in the zone, so she's going to induce a lot of ground balls, and you got to be ready for that as the infield and ready to make those plays. And there was an opportunity there for Chelsea Sagern to get an out, but that ball just came screaming at her way too hard. And I'd got to imagine when Tennessee goes back and looks at this game on film, that's going to be one of the plays that Coach Karen Weekly talked to us about earlier in the year. You got to be able to make the great plays, not just the routine ones, but the ones that nobody expects you to make. That's what makes a great team.
So Virginia puts a pair of pinch runners on, as it'll be Molly Keshen and Rachel Keshen on first base. So going to the substitutions as the base runners. 2 on, only 1 down for Gott. First pitch swinging and a miss. First strike for Maddy Moss in the AB. Keshen has a lot of speed over there on second. 8 stolen bases already for the team. That's a big number. That's second in the ACC. Oh, 1 down, 2 on. Moss. That one looking good for strike 2. Up in the count on Olivia Gott.
And Gott has shown that she has power to both the left and the right side, so you got to make sure that you're not leaving that ball too far over the middle of the plate, because Olivia Gott will definitely take advantage of it.
The 0-2 now for Moss. Fire into Gott, swing and a miss, strike 2. Maddy Moss sitting down Gott. Strikeout number 3 for on the afternoon, and that is a big out number 2.
A great at-bat by Maddy Moss, really working Olivia Gott. Gets ahead to an 0-2 count and is able to throw that curveball well out of the zone to make sure that even if Olivia Gott does touch that ball, there's not a whole lot you can do with that pitch. Great job by Maddy Moss to come back.
Standing in now, Arizona Ritchie with 2 down, first pitch strike. Maddy Moss getting in a nice rhythm.
And take advantage of some uncharacteristic mistakes from this Tennessee defense.
Those errors from Chelsea Sagern, though, backed up from a pretty strong performance from Maddy Moss, as she's faced a couple of difficult situations and been able to work out of them and keep this lead for the Volunteers as they up 4, heading into the bottom of the 6th. We'll see the 4, 5, 6, and Morgan, Shipman, and Phillips.
Leading off, number 7, Ashley
As
Morgan.
Allie Rail still out in the circle. 3 2/3 innings pitched already. We'll head into that 4th of innings pitched after 1 down. And there's a first pitch swinging from Morgan, and that'll be put away by Barbour at second. Right to her.
And Rail again doing a nice job of getting these Tennessee hitters to be out in front. They're all early on their swings, and they haven't really been able to consistently make that adjustment throughout their lineup. They've had a couple of hits here and there that people have been on time, but for the most part, we've seen a lot of swings and foul balls on pitches that they're well out in front of.
We were talking about Virginia just needing to throw strikes. Well, Allie Rail, 41 strikes thrown already out of her 56 pitches.
Being very, very efficient with all of her pitches. And again, that's why we're seeing a lot of swings and a lot of Tennessee batters getting out on first pitches, because she is coming in there with those strikes.
Well, all the talk was Allyson Fry, big experienced graduate senior coming in and starting, but the freshman's really stepped up. There's a nice swing. That'll drop through for a hit. Allie Shipman is aboard again. Hit number 3 in the ball game for the freshman catcher.
I like that adjustment by Allie Shipman, trying to put the ball on the ground. We saw several fly ball outs in a row from this Tennessee offense, and Allie Shipman knows she's going to go up there, try to do something different, pounds the ball into the 5-6 hole to get a runner on base.
Kayleigh Phillips.
So with one down, Shipman able to reach aboard again. She's 3 for 4 today. 2 singles, a double, and an RBI. Standing in first pitch, swinging is Phillips. Play made, but everyone is safe. This was a hard hit ball, and Ritchie couldn't do anything with it. 2 aboard now in the inning.
Well, the 2 freshmen coming up back-to-back, making very solid adjustments. Again, in the last 3 innings, Tennessee has made 7 fly ball outs. So I guarantee you the coaches told them, do something different, make an adjustment in your at-bats, and that's exactly what we saw from both Phillips and Shipman, putting the ball on the ground, making something happen.
So 2 aboard with only 1 down. That'll turn it over to Hailey Bearden. First pitch swinging out to right field, headed towards foul territory. Play made. Allie Shipman tagging over to third. So Hailey Bearden is put away by Oshiro, but able to advance the lead runner.
A good base running move by Allie Shipman at second base to be able to tag on that foul ball. Hailey Bearden again out in front of those pitches, gets another fly ball out for Tennessee.
First pitch swinging too. 2 down now in the inning, bottom of the 6th. Tennessee, maybe their last plate appearance is a look to close down the game in the 7th inning. Haven't reached the 7th inning yet this weekend. With 2 down now, swing and a foul. First pitch swinging for Savannah Huffstetler.
Other pitcher changes for Virginia. Now in left field at number 3, Bailey
Huffstetler, another player on this Tennessee team that's recovering from an ACL tear last year. Good to see her back in the lineup and feeling good, not having to wear that big old brace on her knee this year.
Plenty of opportunities already for her. This is her 15th at-bat. Another RBI chance for it. Flew out in the 4th inning, out to center. She'll look to keep the inning alive. Allie Rail, 2 down in the inning, sets on the 1-1. That one just misses.
Allie Rail continuing to use that off-speed pitch. Again, she's seeing the same things we are. She sees these Tennessee batters well out in front on their swings and trying to take advantage of that to try to get out of this inning with no runs across the board.
Tennessee has already stranded 9 runners in the game. Huffstetler popping it up. Will it stay in play? And the play is made over there in the shadows by third baseman Busby. Inning over. Tennessee strands their 10th and 11th runners on base to end the 6th inning as Virginia has a chance. Headed to the top of go right at Maddy Moss.
And to your point, they have seen Maddy Moss for several innings now, so these hitters are starting to get a bit familiar with Maddy Moss. And last inning, we saw Maddy Moss try to throw a lot more of those off speeds, and I guarantee you that's why, because these hitters have seen her for several at bats now, and she's trying to do something different with her pitches. But here she's got to set the tone in the top of this 7th inning for Maddy Moss. She's going to try to get ahead, stay ahead, and put down this first runner.
See the 7, 8, 9 batters, bottom of the lineup for Virginia, trying to come across some late runs. Maddy Moss standing in their way. Standing in the way of Tennessee getting a nice sweep here. The Tennessee Classic. First time they've been in the 7th inning. They've been able to get a run rule in each game, except for today. Moss on the 0-1, just missing for Erica Oshiro. She's 0 for 2 today. It's Tennessee, their first tournament here at home in the season. First couple of games at home. Been a couple of successful ones. There's Moss, pitch just down the line, just missing from Oshiro. Was almost aboard in the leadoff spot to start the inning, but just left.
And throughout this game, we've seen this Virginia offense be able to put more and more barrel on these balls. At the beginning of the game, besides Lacey Smith's hit, they weren't able to do anything else. And even their foul balls have been really loud, hard shots to the right and to the left.
The 1-2 now for Oshiro, standing in. Moss firing a swing and a little blooper in the infield, and Maddy Moss is able to secure it. Out number 1 as they get Oshiro on the short little blooper.
Nice job by Maddy Moss coming back after Oshiro did hit that hard ball down the left field line to get her jammed up enough to get that nice, easy infield fly ball to Maddy Moss for out number 1.
Up next for Virginia, number 10, Kate Covington.
Stepping in is Kate Covington, a sophomore out of McLean, Virginia. Went 0 for 1 Sunday out in the start in center field. She'll get the pitch hitting spot. First pitch, swinging and a foul. It's Covington, only a player to start all 53 games last year for Virginia, but not getting the start here today. Only hitting .207 on the season. And will stand in looking to spark something. Trying to get a rally going in the top of the 7th. That pitch up high from Moss.
And Covington definitely more of a gap-to-gap hitter, hitting 5 doubles and 2 triples last season.
We see the Louisville Cardinals standing by, getting a watch on their opponent. Coming up later today, just after this one, Tennessee will go back-to-back. Moss just missing in that one. You think the Vols will go for Rogers next game?
I would definitely
I
say
would think so.
The benefit of having the 3 pitchers on your staff is you have the ability to throw all 3 of them in a day like we're seeing today, and that's going to prepare them for moving forward going into SEC play.
Rogers definitely helping out the Tennessee pitching staff. This would have been maybe a problem in recent past with basically only throwing 2 pitchers. That's a good pitch from Moss. Got him on the check swing. Strike number 2.
Last season for the Lady Vols, Maddy Moss and Kaylin Arnold definitely did the majority of the work, especially throughout the SEC play and into the postseason, and adding Rogers in there to be able to throw some more innings not only rests Kaylin Arnold and Maddy Moss's arms, but also gives them some more diversity amongst their pitching staff.
2-2 from Moss, backwards K once again. Maddy Moss out number 2 in the inning, 5th strikeout of the afternoon in relief. And the Vols are 1 out away from coming away with a victory over the Cavaliers.
Moss continuing to work those pitches both inside and outside, and ended up getting Covington guessing on that last pitch for strikeout number 5.
Louisville on the move. They're getting ready for the next game. Estimated time on the schedule says 4:30. It'll probably be bumped back a little bit. So give the players some time to warm up as Tennessee will go back-to-back. Face off against Louisville. That'll conclude their weekend, and then they'll move on to California next weekend.
Number 4, Tori Gilbert.
Where they'll face a good lineup of teams playing Fresno State, New Mexico, Michigan, and Oregon.
Some big names in there. Pitch and swing, and it's Gilbert, the pinch hitter, with 2 down, trying to spark anything for the Cavaliers. They're down to their last out. It's freshman Tori Gilbert. It's Maddy Moss looking to secure the victory for the Volunteers. That one just missing. Ball 1.
Coach Harden trying to get the freshman Gilbert some experience against a senior pitcher like Maddy Moss. You can't replace at-bats like this, and it's so important for Gilbert moving forward, not just this season, but the rest of her career.
1-1, another swing and a miss, a little bit of a foul tip that time. Strike number 2. Now Virginia down to their final strike as Maddy Moss only giving up 1 hit, only giving up 1 run in relief. And looking to close out this afternoon versus the Cavaliers. Sets for the 1-2, fires that one up high. Gilbert staying alive, hasn't really got too much contact yet. We'll look into battle here. .50 pitches for Moss from the bullpen. And now the 2-2. Moss fires, check swing, strike 3 anyways. Game over as Tennessee comes in on a Monday and takes down Virginia for the second time this weekend as they close it out. A score of 6-2. They improve to 12-2 on the season and continue their perfect weekend here at the Tennessee Classic. As Virginia, very good effort today. They battled back a little bit late, but it was not enough as the Tennessee Volunteers are victorious.
Well, Virginia put pressure on Tennessee all game long, making them, like you said, play the first 7-inning game of this tournament. Tennessee showing some resiliency, going down early in the top of the first inning, but able to come back and end up winning this ball game 6-2.
Kaylin Arnold will get the victory despite giving up a few runs. Good batting performances from Shipman and Leach, and the Volunteers able to grab the victory. They will be back right after this against Louisville, and then from then on in California. As Lady Vols get the victory today, 6-2. From all the crew, from Madison Shipman, I'm Andy Brock. Thank you for joining us here on the SEC Network as we bring coverage of the Tennessee Classic. Thank you and have a good night.